Hello, welcome to Lakewood Next Daily Devotions, and I am Mallory, and we get to pick up in Matthew 16, starting in verse 21. From then on, Jesus began to tell his disciples plainly that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and that he would suffer many terrible things at the hands of the elders, the leading priests, and the teachers of the religious law. He would be killed, but on the third day he would be raised from the dead. But Peter took him aside and began to reprimand him, saying such things as, "Heaven forbid, Lord," he said, "this will never happen to you." Jesus turned to Peter and said, "Get away from me, Satan. You are a dangerous trap to me. You are seeing things merely from a human point of view, not from God's." I love Peter. He makes me giggle. He's kind of like the comedic relief. And he's so relatable. Here he was, held to high esteem and given praise for the confession that he made yesterday. And the fact that he said that you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And Jesus gave him praise and gave him a name, calling him out, Peter, rock. And on this rock, I'm going to build my church. And now he is sticking his foot in his mouth again. Reactionary Peter. One of the things that I had noticed is that, yes, he is still the rock, but Jesus is still using a play on in his words, because not exactly can you see it in this translation, but Peter, rock, a firm foundation of which you can build my church, or Peter, rock, a stumbling block. Which are you going to choose to be, Peter? Jesus is reprimanding him and calling him out, telling him who he is called to be. And here Jesus was sharing some very intimate details about what is going to happen. He had told them before slightly of what he was going to do, but now they had true understanding of who he was, that he was the Messiah. And so Jesus wanted to give them, now that they had understanding, more details of what that means. But like many of us, sometimes we get focused on one thing, that he was going to die. And Peter was reactionary. But then Jesus says to his disciples, "If any of you want to follow me, you must give up your own way, take up your cross, and follow. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give your life for my sake, you will save it. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is there anything worth more than your soul? For the Son of Man will come with his angels in the glory of the Father, and judge all people according to their deeds. And I tell you the truth, some standing here right now won't die before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." The cost of following Jesus is pricey. I don't know if you remember, but the last time I got to do these daily devotions, we talked about the cost of discipleship. Back in Matthew 8, Jesus says there is a cost, that it is going to not be comfortable, that following Jesus is going to cost you something. It won't be all sunshines and roses. And here we have Jesus telling us again, are we listening? It is not going to be easy. If we want to be his followers, we must give up our own way, take up our cross, and follow him. Here, he's not just talking to Peter, who can either be the rock, the foundation by which Jesus is going to build his church, or the rock, the stumbling block, which Satan uses to get in the way of people obeying God. You can be one or the other. So what are we going to choose? It's more natural for us to choose our own way. It's a lot easier to do what pleases me. It's a lot easier to be natural old me, who is selfish and arrogant and wants to put her opinion into everything she sees. But that's not what God asks us to do. In fact, he asks us to be humble, to put others before ourselves. And that can be quite costly to some. I hope you can count the cost and deny yourself. Pick up his cross and follow him.